Hello, everyone. I think that slowly we can start the webinar. Hello, everyone. Officially, my name is Kristina Stankovska. I am Erika Youth Ambassador. And today, alongside my dear colleague Marco, we will have the honor to host and facilitate this webinar. We are all here for the webinar, My Digital Me, Connected, Informed, Critical. And today we will have the pleasure to hear some amazing speakers and share any insights and any questions that you might have in the webinar. As you all know, young people face countless challenges when they are online, seeing their safety at risk with every click they choose to make. From identity theft to phishing to fake news and misinformation, technology is evolving so fast that online dangers are becoming more and more creative and more unexpected. Youth Information Services, as one of the main sources of accurate and up-to-date information for young people, must keep up with the latest developments in technology in order to be able to support young people in their protection and online safety. This requires, in many cases, in-depth individual research or additional training on technology and cybersecurity issues. Therefore, organized in the framework of the European Youth Information Day 2023, this webinar aims to raise awareness and provide insights on the importance of cybersecurity and media and information literacy for young people in the digital age. It seeks to provide participants with resources to identify online threats and to open up a discussion on how youth information workers can keep abreast of the latest developments in technology to help young people become more responsible and conscious digital citizens. Therefore, without further ado, I would like to introduce to the floor my colleague Marco, who will continue with the presentation of the speakers.
Thank you, Kristina. Hi, everyone. I'm Marco, also Erika Youth Ambassador. And now I would like to invite the floor to Erika Director, Eva Reina, for the welcome speech. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Marco. Thank you, Kristina. So welcome everyone in behalf of Erika to this webinar. As Kristina mentioned, is part of our flagship campaign, the European Youth Information Day 2023. And besides that, happy European Youth Information Day. For those who don't know, actually, the European Youth Information Day is today because it's the day of the foundation of Erika. So today, Erika is turning 37 years old. I was checking just before on Google, just like randomly, like, what does it mean to turn 37? And I came out across a title of an article that said, the age of contentment is 37. Study reveals most top 10 life goals have been completed by that age. So 37. I will leave those who already passed the 37 to think if it's true or not. And I would like to thank you all for joining this webinar. It is a very important topic, as mentioned before by Kristina. With the evolution of technology, we see how fast it goes. And this also has an impact as well in our capacity indeed to distinguish between true and false information, between what is actually a fact, what is not. And indeed, media and information literacy has become, without any doubt, the new literacy of this century. It is like reading, counting, or writing before. So we have to be ready for that, not only young people, but especially as well those who are supporting young people in finding the right information and in guiding them through their transition to adulthood. So we really hope that you will enjoy the inputs and the discussions that we are going to have here today, and that they will inspire you not only as daily users of internet, but also as supporters of young people in your work with them, providing them with information, support, and inspiring them to be digital citizens. So without any further point, I just want to officially open the webinar on behalf of Erika and enjoy it.
Thank you, Eva. Now, next, I want to announce our key speaker, Sara Pereira from Miho University. Sara Pereira is Associate Professor with Habilitation at the University of Minho, Portugal. Her main research areas are children, young people, and the media, the rights of expression and participation of children and young people, media literacy, and public and media practices. She has coordinated several national and European projects and is the author of several publications in these areas. She chairs the Media Education Research section of the International Association for Media and Communication Research since July 2019. She is coordinator of MILOPS Observatory on Media, Information and Literacy and co-author of the radio program Ovidio Critico, broadcast weekly on Antena 1 since February 2018. Now I would like to give the floor to Sara, please.
Okay, thank you. Good morning to everyone. I will share my screen to start my presentation. Okay, so good morning again. I would like to thank you for the invitation to this webinar. It's a pleasure to be here and share some of my work with you. First of all, I would like to clarify that I will use the terms children and young people, but I follow the United Nations definition that a child is anyone between 0 and 18 years old, having, of course, a lot of diversity within this category. So let me remember the concept and the dimensions of media literacy. Media literacy generally defined as ability to access the media, to understand and to critically evaluate different aspects of the media and media contents, and to create communications in a variety of contexts. The media are seen as key enablers for citizens to better understand the world and participate in democratic and cultural life. And in this sense, as stated by David Buckingham, a British researcher, media literacy is a basic prerequisite of contemporary citizenship. And as Buckingham highlights, understanding media is also about what we as individuals create and produce and how we use media to communicate with each other. So I want to highlight these two ideas of understanding our media practices and children's media practices, and also the idea of the importance of communication or the process of communication. This scheme highlights the main dimensions of media literacy, from access to analysis and critical understanding to creation and production of message and contents. Transversal to all these dimensions and as a pillar of media literacy is the development of critical thinking. Regarding these dimensions, several studies have shown there are very big differences between the ways that children around the globe are accessing media and technology. But as far as the European area is concerned, most children and young people are connected to media and digital technologies, spending much of their daily time using media. Studies on assessment of media literacy competencies also show that young people demonstrate good technical competencies, but with regard to critical analysis and creation and production of message and content, their competencies levels are lower. In the work of media literacy, a paradigm of risk and security still prevails rather than a paradigm of empowerment and opportunities. And this is very visible in research with children. When we ask them to identify what are the risks and the opportunities associated with engaging online, they have much more difficulties in list the opportunities rather than the risks. And I think you should think on this. So these results indicate that besides access and technical use, the other media literacy dimensions need to be further developed also in order to leveraging the benefits of children's digital practices. The research has also identified some myths that need to be dispelled. These are myths that the research has already deconstructed, but that continue to prevail in the current public discourse. And these beliefs sometimes makes the work of media literacy difficult because they produce deterministic discourses enchanted with technologies and their power. And one of these myths is about the idea of digital natives, as if children and young people, because they were born in digital age, already knew everything. The second one, somewhat opposite to the first, is the idea that the internet is only a space of risk and danger, forgetting the opportunities and positive aspects it has brought to our lives. And the third myth is related to the idea of producers, conveying the idea that all children and young people are creating, producing, and participating in the digital space. Well, I think this is a complete fallacy, and this is what what in my last book published in 2021 is about, based on the results of research with youth. In the book, I try to show that they are much more consumers than producers, questioning who is so interested in this idea that they are all producers today. Let me now talk about the three perspectives on media literacy education that are also used in the analysis of children and young people's relationship with the media. These approaches are useful for us to know where we start from, where we focus our work, and what vision we have of children, young people, and the media. Our study and our work will be different depending on the approach we adopt and follow. So let's start with the technological perspective, because it's related to what I said before about myths. This perspective is technologically deterministic. It believes in the power of technology to produce effects of several levels, for example, to promote school success, to promote participation and citizenship, and euphoric claims are heard about the positive and empowering potential of digital media. The protectionist perspective defends the need to protect children from the risks and negative and harmful effects of media. It believes more in the power of media than in the power of audiences, publics, citizens. Sometimes it is still based on a perspective of the direct and immediate effects of the media and an idea of helpless audience. In turn, the empowering perspective aims to provide children and young people with development of skills and tools to know how to deal with the media. It seeks to maximize benefits and minimize risks. And as David Bucking says, it is important that people know to operate technology and how to keep themselves safe online. But being literate in the fullest sense is about a great deal more than this. So we should think about the issues associated with cyber safety, of course, but we should also think about leveraging the benefits of children's digital practices. Linking media literacy perspectives with the categories of children's rights contemplated in the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child, we can identify areas of action to promote the various dimensions of media literacy and at the same time children's rights. The provision category related to the media concerns the production, provision of quality programs, contents, and services specifically aimed at children. For example, movies, documentaries, series, cartoons, news bulletins, magazines, websites, etc. This is based on the principle that they have a right to access to information and media content that benefit, enrich, and promote their well-being. Protection rights in its term refer to the need to protect children and young people from harmful media contents that may negatively influence their lives, protect them from risks and dangers, from forms of discrimination, from all forms of violence, bullying, hate speech, and so on. And the participation and expression rights aims to empower children and young people as active, informed, and critical citizens, encourage participation in and through the media, listen to them, and giving them a voice. The promotion of these sets of rights is the responsibility of the state, but also schools, municipalities, organizations that work with children and young people, also the media. We can't forget the media and the other technology companies and other companies that target children. From here, I would like to jump to an important document that you should know, that this document frames the discussion we are having here today in this webinar. It's General Comment number 25 on children's rights in relation to digital environment, adopted on 4th February 2021 by the United Nations Committee on the Rights of the Child and published on March 2, 2021. This is a kind of addendum to the Conventions on the Rights of the Child in order to meet the challenges of digital age. And this document seeks to promote greater action and propose measures to states to fulfill their obligations to promote and protect children's rights in the digital environment and ensure that other actors, including companies, including media, fulfill their responsibilities. But reading the document, some questions arise to me. For instance, how can states best fulfill their obligations regarding the rights of the child in the digital environment? How should companies operating in digital environment support the protection and promotion of children's rights? And how can children's views and experiences be expressed and taken into account in the formulation of policies and practices affecting media and digital technologies? And something that I would like to emphasize today: what is the role of each of us, teachers, researchers, youth information workers, policymakers, in applying the principles of this document? And I'm starting from here to list some forms of action to all that work with children and young people. For instance, making young people, not technology or media, the center of the media literacy work. Know the children's and young people digital practices to explore the possible risks and take advantage of the benefits and the opportunities of connectivity. Discuss with them their media practices, leading them to reflect themselves on their online experiences. Opening up spaces where they can talk about and understand their digital practices. Sometimes children and young people use a lot the media, but they never reflect or stop to think about what are they doing with media and the time they spend with these means. Another idea is to talk to them about risk and opportunities in the digital world based on their own experiences. Another one is taking research results into account when working with children and youth. I think it's very important to start from what this research discover about this area, about their relationship with media and the digital technologies. And at last, but not at least, listen to children and youth and making them feel that their voices can't. Because sometimes we listen to them, but they feel that their voices are not heard, that voices are not being counted to nothing. So it's great that if they feel that their voice is count for this work. These proposals are based on the idea that when we talk about digital well-being for children, we are not only talking about their safety or simply being protected from harm. It's also about opening up opportunities for children and young people to have a voice online, to participate and express themselves. So it is in this slide, I put also some skills that are important that children develop and that are important to teach them. Some of these points is or these skills is to use the tools available to protect and fulfill their rights and duties, of course, in digital environment. Learn to deal with the potential harmful content and behavior. Learn to the possible consequences of publishing harmful information that can be shared by others and in the different contexts. To understand, according to their skills and age, what it means to respect fundamental rights, their own and those of others. To learn how digital platforms and networks work. This is the question of the digital capitalism, where data is seen as a commodity, to understand the value of their data and what it means to give consent to use this data, and identify cases of violations of rights and responsibilities online by individuals and also by companies, and to learn how to report them. I think this is very important, to learn how to report these violations of rights and responsibilities from people and from the companies. Well, I think one of the things that we have to be clear about is that children can be exposed to a range of risks when they are online. And in order to teach them to deal with this, we need, of course, to learn issues associated with cyber safety. But we also need to leverage the benefits of children's digital practices and get them to think not only about risks, but also benefits and opportunities of their digital practices and experiences. And learning to think about risk and safety is important, of course it is, but it can be limiting if they don't move forward from there, because it prevents them from perceiving opportunities and challenges that are made available to them when they are engaging online. And before concluding, I would like to highlight two aspects that seem to be crucial in media literacy work with children and young people. As David Buckingham defends, media education or media literacy is not, could not be a substitute for media education. This means that we need critical and discerning audiences. Sorry, this is an error here. Media regulation is not a substitute for media education. I'm sorry, it's a mistake here. This means that we need critical and discerning audiences, but companies can't escape their editorial responsibility for the material they publish and circulate. These companies have to take their responsibilities and offer great transparency. So is why Buckingham defends that media education is not a substitute for regulation and for media regulation, because audiences, publics citizens are important in dealing with these the online and digital issues, but companies can't escape from their responsibilities and for the material they are publishing and they are circulating online. And there is a role for all of us here. Demand accountability from these companies. We need to demand accountability from these companies directly or from our governments. I think this idea of the accountability, the social responsibility of the companies are very important. Also in this question that you are discussing today about children and digital media. The second point concerns the right to participation and the right to expression. The Convention established the right to freely express their opinions, so the right that children and people have to express their opinions and to participate, the right to be heard, the right to freedom of expression and the right to be informed, the right of access to information and media content that benefits them, and the right to leisure and to play and so on. But the Committee on the Rights of the Child, in the report it prepares on the application of the conventions, has been alerting to the importance of the states having to invest more in promoting the right to participation. So the participation, considering all the other categories, provision and protection, is the category that it's not so developed as the others. So we need to invest more in promoting the right to participation and expression. And in the research project that I have conducted with children and young people, and specifically in a research project that I'm currently coordinating, which involved inquiring a sample of 1,131 children and young people, and conducting focus groups with 390 children and young people aged between 12 and 18 years old. We realized in this research project the great difficulties they have in expressing themselves, forming an opinion and participating. The field notes from the focus group that we conduct with all these children are very, very rich in this respect, because these field notes show their difficulties in participating in the discussion that we have proposed to them, to this sample. In conducting these focus groups, we were able to observe, for example, the difficulty in having an opinion about everyday matters, the difficulty in expressing themselves even on issues that they say that interest them and issues that they are concerned about. Sorry, and on the right side of this slide, we find reasons given by the young people themselves for not participating. So, lack of courage, shame, fear of saying something wrong, fear of being judged, fear of cancellation in the online environment, fear of not be accepted or on the internet, or that their ideas that could be different from the others could be not accepted from their colleagues, their friends. These are some of the reasons presented by this sample of children and young people. And these reasons are common to all students. We didn't find major differences either with regard to age or gender, although students aged 17 and 18 argued better and were more explicit about the reasons for non-participation. Therefore, I think we have a lot of work to do in promoting children's rights to participation and expression. And it was with this objective in mind that we created the BU, or the BYU project. This is a study on children and young people's experiences and expressions of the media, funded by the Portuguese Foundation for Science and Technology. The project adopts a participatory methodology with the aim of collecting expressions from children and young people about the media and their relationship with the media, but also about other issues of the current world in different formats. And last October, the research team launched the campaign Express Yourself at all children up to 18 years old. Shoot, do, say, express yourself is the motto of this campaign that aims to reach Portuguese children and young people, but also children of the community of the Portuguese speaking countries. The materials collected in this campaign are published on a participatory online platform, the BU Expression Mural. This is a digital mural, and it is organized in 4 areas. The area with the production of children and young people, so the production that children and young people by themselves, or schools or other organizations that work with children send to us. And we, after we find all the material, we publish the material here in this mural. A second area is about is an expression area on several themes suggested by the research team related to the media, school, family, friends, and so on, and also issues related to the country, for instance, or the citizenship. And this expression is made through a word, a sound, an image, or a video. Something that they want to live there in this area. And the other area are quizzes in which we ask children and young people to test their knowledge, while we intend also to develop their media literacy. So this quiz is about, for instance, video games, or about the freedom of press, freedom of information. Well, it's a lot of issues and themes within media literacy. And the 4th area that is also very important for us, explain them what the mural is, and explains the publication, the privacy, and the data protection policy. And when we are explaining them these issues, we want that they also develop their understanding of the importance of the privacy and the importance of protecting their data when we publish their works online. And to conclude, I would like now to invite you to watch the video of the campaign Express Yourself, that aims to encourage the participation and the expression of children and young people. So I will see. Sorry, I will interrupt for a second the sharing in order to see if the sound is on. Okay, sorry. Okay, it's okay. Sorry, the sound it's not okay. I think it's here.
There's no sound.
Yes, I think it's here. Sorry.
Uns dizem que somos fogo, outros dizem que somos água. Uns dizem que somos paralelos, outros perpendiculares. Uns dizem que sim, outros dizem que não. Para uns somos alfa, para outros somos Z. Vivemos num planeta desigual.
Quero contrariar isto!
isto?
À nossa volta há um mundo de conflitos.
O que faço para mudar?
Temos muita informação.
Mas será que estou informado?
Temos ferramentas para fazer a diferença.
Mas será que consigo?
Dominamos muita tecnologia.
Ou sou dominado por ela?
Temos outras formas de entretenimento. Somos Instagrammers, TikTokers, YouTubers, streamers. Mas não deixamos de ser leitores.
Somos tudo isto, mas queremos ser mais.
Mais tolerantes, perseverantes, apaixonantes, contagiantes. Esta é a hora de gritarmos, de nos fazermos ouvir, de batermos as panelas e berrarmos às janelas. Chegou a altura da mudança, é a nossa vez ao volante. Chama toda a atenção, sobe ao palco e liga o altifalante. O presente és tu a decidir. Usa o teu poder, este é o momento de agir. Usa a tua palavra, a tua projeção. Junta-te a nós, participa na discussão. Junta-te ao BU. Grita, diz, faz, expressa-te. Este é um projeto da Universidade do Minho para crianças e jovens até aos 18 anos que querem ouvir-te. Saber o que pensas, conhecer as tuas histórias. Produz um vídeo, podcast, fotografia, desenho, pintura, texto, poema, dança, música ou outra forma criativa para te expressar sobre a importância dos média na tua vida ou sobre assuntos que te preocupam ou interessam. Protege a tua identidade e privacidade e não uses conteúdos sujeitos a direitos de autor. Envia as tuas produções para bu@ics.uminho.pt. Para saberes mais, consulta moralbu.pt. BU by you. Uns dizem que somos fogo.
So I don't know if I have more 2 seconds. Do I have more seconds or not? Or should I finish my presentation? Well, perhaps to finish, I want to introduce you the MILOBS. This is the Media and Information Literacy Observatory of the University of Minho. It is coordinated by me and my colleague Manuel Pinto. And MILOBS is available through digital platforms, milobs.pt. It is also in Portuguese, but also in English. It is a non-profit services to the community, researchers, field actors, trainers, policymakers, media, and so on. And it is organized in 5 main axes: policies, practices, training, research, and resources. Its main purpose is to gather, treat, and make available relevant information on media literacy, with particular focus on Portuguese reality, but with an open and global perspective. So if you want, please take a look in this observatory. I think you will find some resources and materials that could be important to all our work. And thank you very much for listening.
Thank you, Sarah. I would like now to open the floor for questions if there are anything from the public here.
Yes, I see that we already have some raised hands, so maybe we can start with Anne-Marie, and then I think that I saw Mace that you can also take a question.
Or you can also write in the chat if you have a question.
Yeah, however is easier. I think Anne-Marie, you had a hands up, or was like just an applaud? Okay. While people are getting their questions, I really felt inspired from Sarah, and I would also like to thank you for the presentation. As a young person, I think that is out of very importance to highlight the topics of media literacy and also education of young people, and also the education of young people on it. I have written down like 2 main points that captured my attention, and I would like to highlight them. One of them was in the part of the actions we can take. You mentioned that listening to children and youth and making them feel that their voices count. For me, honestly, as a young person, that is very deep. Why? Because I feel that in most of the events, you know, the young people are somehow passive listeners, and they are not, you know, being asked, and their opinions that much, you know, are not being heard. So I really love the initiatives that you're also taking on this segment, and I could not, you know, highlight enough the importance of this, not only as passive speakers, but a listener story, but also as speakers. And another part, which is also, I would say, even more important than this one, is when you mentioned that it is important to teach them the value of their data and what it means to give consent to its use. Why I'm mentioning this? Because, I mean, I think that even as an adult or young person, but especially as a young person, when we see the part policy privacy, data privacy, or, you know, these kind of sections, almost most of the times we don't read them. As a young person, I can say I'm guilty of that, and I think that a lot of young people as well. And honestly, when we see this information, we just see like a bunch of text, a lot of paragraphs, and then we are not even aware what we are, you know, giving our consent to or what we are accepting. So my question to you directly would be, do you think that there is a way on a European level to have some kind of regulation where this kind of information about the data privacy policy and similar subjects can be made in a youth-friendly way? I know that this could not be as a law, you know, something as a law, because the people doing these things, they, you know, with the long paragraphs, they ensure themselves that they have this, you know, part covered. But I think that it's like almost a must that this is also represented in a youth-friendly way. So my question to you would be, do you think this is possible? Is there maybe some initiatives that you know regarding to this, which we as young people don't know, and other professionals? And do you think that there is something that can be done related to this? Because I personally think that it's very important.
I think there are questions in the chat. If I'm
Yeah, just sorry if she can answer the question, and then we can continue.
Yes. So, Christina, thank you for your comments and from the synopsis of my intervention. I think it was good. It was great. Well, I think that there is a lot of work concerning digital and media literacy that you need to do with children and young people. Because sometimes they use the media, but they don't know, for instance, why social networks or digital platforms are free. They don't know that their data are the commodity today. So they don't know the model of businessness of these platforms and these social networks. And we have now, I know that in Portugal and in other countries, there are already some activities and some proposals and some agendas in that contemplate this kind of activities in order to prepare them to be not only passive consumers, but I don't say active, but informed consumers. But I think that there is here something that we need to reflect on, is that sometimes children and young people are not interested in this. In the research I have been conducting with them, sometimes they ask me, why is this important? I want to use and nothing more. So I think that there is a lot of work that we need to conduct, but involving them and showing them the importance of all of this. That use access and use media is very important, but there are some questions they need to know in order to be informed consumers and informed producers also. So I think there is a need here also to construct with them these ideas that this is not important. because they freely access the social networks. They are there. So what else is important for them? I don't know if I answered your question, Christina. Sorry.
Yes, it was amazing. Thank you very much. I mean, this is a long topic that we can discuss, but in the framework of the webinar, I'm very satisfied with the answer. Thank you very much. And I see that you also have 2 more questions, so I will read it from the comments. Sanya is asking, as a parent, what steps would you take to ensure that your child learns media literacy skills at a young age?
Well, so this is a difficult question, because it's a difficult question because sometimes families, this is my opinion, okay? Sometimes families are not prepared to develop media literacy work, okay? The families are very different. So I think it's the school or preschool, in the case of very, very young children, that have the responsibility to do this work, but also with families. Okay, so I don't know if well, we can also of course offer some programs for parents themselves. Okay, in the past I do a lot of training with parents, and it was a great job, and parents were there at night in this training. And I think it's important to train parents for this and to inform parents about this, and also to produce materials, resources for parents. Here at the University of Minho, a decade ago, we produced some booklets, one about video games, another one about television, and another one about internet, that were aimed to parents in order to give them some ideas what they could do with their children and their young children at home. But also in this research I have been conducting, I note that children want to talk about this. Okay, sometimes children are very lonely at home, because the media consumption at home is more and more private nowadays. Everything everyone are in their screen, and sometimes they don't talk. Family don't talk each other. So there is a lot of work here with family that we need to do. So to produce materials and resources, and the universities here, I think have a job to do. Schools can do also a great job with families, and offer training sessions for parents. Sometimes who comes to this training are parents that already informed, but it's okay. It's good to have this offer for families. So Tanya, sorry, sometimes we don't think a lot on families. We think more on schools, but schools can also do great work with families in this sense.
Thank you very much, Sarah. Also, Merlin is mentioning, are you aware of the Internet Segura in Portugal? I think that you can later maybe read the link and comment on this topic. And also, I would like to ask Merlin if you want to maybe add some questions to our speaker, because I think that maybe you had something to share.
Yes. So no, I just wanted to ask if you know the Portuguese Safer Internet Center, because we are from BCQ in Luxembourg, and we also do kind of trainings in schools, also for parents, but also for educators and school staff. And that's why I wanted to ask if you maybe have worked with them or informed with them to promote the safer use of internet in Portugal.
Yes, Merlin, I know very well their work. And you know, last year I conducted a study to evaluate impact of these initiatives from Internet Segura here in Portugal. So we work together, and they are also partners of this observatory that you have here at the University of Minho. And thank you for your question, because sometimes we are working in the same topic, but in a separate ways, and I think it's good to combine work and to work together and to work in team. Thank you.
Practice and research is always.
Yes, it's that. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think we don't have any more questions. I would like to thank you, Sarah, for your presentation and answering also the questions that we had. Thank you very much. And now I would like to give the floor back to Christina.
Thank you again, Marco. Thank you as well, Sarah, for an amazing speech and answering the questions. We're really happy to have you here with us today. And now we are continuing with the next session, Inspiring Initiatives from the ERICA Network. This is a really interesting session, so I would like to introduce to the floor Juan José Sánchez Carrasco, who is coming from the Catalan Youth Agency, and Germà Bustamante from the Cybersecurity Catalan Agency, who will be talking about the Ambassadors Digitals and Kit Digital. So Juanjo, the floor is yours.
Hello, good morning to everyone. I'll try to... Okay. Good morning. It's a pleasure to participate in here today, presenting this digital kit of safety and quality on the internet for the Catalan Youth Information Network. First of all, we'll explain briefly about, what is the National Youth Emancipation Network. One moment. There are a set of public services that promote the emancipation of young people by facilitating access to information, guidance, and advice in various areas for all young people in Catalonia, Spain. The territorial deployment through youth information, guidance, and advice service, like Youth Office and Youth Information Service. And we, the General Direction of Youth on the Catalan Youth Agency, are the ones who drive and support it. But the main components of the network are the town councils and county councils, with more than 500 youth professionals in this service. The network is regulated by a decree of regulation and its follow-up with a catalogue of service and quality guide. Then, the SNEG today is formed by 44 youth office and 234 youth information service, and we have Google Maps to search this service. Okay, this is the map and the distribution on Catalonia with this service. In this context, and with other parts of the SNEG, we push digital dimension in youth emancipation policies, incorporating tools and resources into the provision of service and facilitating the digital citizenship of young people in order to reduce inequalities in access to public resources. From the end of the 2021, the digital kit, this one, was added into the e-youth platform, which includes the cybersecurity campaigns of the Safe Internet program of the Cybersecurity Agency of Catalonia, a compilation of guides and resources to reflect with young people on the opportunities and risks in the digital world, and during 2022, also the experience of Youth Information Service and Youth Office on security and quality on the internet. Now, Germà Bustamante explains our collaboration in cybersecurity and youth.
Thank you. Sorry, thank you, Juanjo. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for letting us to explain the collaboration between the Catalonia Cybersecurity Agency and the Catalan Youth Agency with the framework of training trainers in cybersecurity. First of all, let me briefly introduce the Catalonia Cybersecurity Agency. That is an agency of the government of Catalonia that is responsible for ensuring the security of the country from the perspective of institutions, of citizens, and companies. And this includes not only monitoring cybersecurity activity, but also raising awareness and sensiting the population and providing training. One part of this population, and in which a very important impact is want, is young people. They are the most digitized sector of the society. And the ones with the most massive access to information and new technologies, and the ones who use them most massively. These facts entails a whole series of opportunities: knowledgement, work and professional opportunities, relationships, but also risks that need to be learned and to distinguish and have tools to deal with. And here is where this collaboration that we want to explain starts. Together with Catalonia and with the Catalan Youth Agency and the National Network for Youth Emancipation, a training program was scheduled aimed to technicians of this entity. The objective for us was very clear: to train them in the basic concepts of cybersecurity, so that they could replicate them to other technicians and finally end users of these types of installation, so young people. And the result was what we name at digital ambassadors. For this reason, the foundation of the campaign "Take Control of Who We Are," of who you are, on the internet. This communication and awareness-raising campaign had as its main target audience the young population among 14 and 25 years, and a very clear objective: to provide tools, advice, and resources to know and value the importance of the privacy on internet. At the time when absolute everything is shared, and it's important that young people know how to interact, so that activities and applications only have the essential and necessary information to protect their digital identity. The actions of the campaign focused on the protection on sensitive data using private browsers, the protection of the digital self with applications, and the cost, as Sarah explains, the cost of social networks. We have done a training with 2 parts, 20 hours, a 20 hours course. It considers of an with 20 hours course with specific workshops on privacy issues, as you say in this and you see in this slide. And another part of was a completion of a training projects based on the acquired knowledge. Some examples of which we'll see here in a few minutes. The campaign take control of who we are in on the internet, and the collaboration with the Catalan Cybersecurity Agency and the Catalan Youth Agency have a common goal: to raise awareness about cybersecurity among the younger sectors of society, and particularly in the area of privacy. To access the countless services and applications that require personal data and the intensive use of information technologies by young people make it absolutely necessary to carry on actions to raise awareness, conscientiousness, and training regarding internet security. Access to information, entertainment, and relationships by young people must be done with all guarantees of security for their digital identity. And our next steps keep the training and the awareness of cybersecurity ambassadors up to date. Thank you for your thanks thanks to the Young Information Points of Catalan Youth Agency Network, it's possible to transfer all this knowledge effectively and usefully. So thank you all. Now it's time to see with Juanjo some of these training projects done by participants in the training, and they have applied either to your information points or information services.
Okay, thank you. Finally, experience about security and quality on the internet of the trained digital ambassadors. We have included 5 experience in the digital kit. These are especially training actions and workshops on cybersecurity with young people in high schools and youth centers. For example, virtual intelligence, who are you on the internet, digital big brother, tools for your privacy, digital safety activity for young people for safe mobile use, and communication tools in councils like Baix Empordà, Lloret de Mar, Garrigues, Calafell, and Noguera. Thanks to the Cybersecurity Agency of Catalonia for providing knowledge and training to SNEC professionals in this area. The project is alive. We continue to work together in network and with total security. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you both for the amazing presentation of the project. I really hope that it will continue in the future as well, and it will have good outcomes for young people and professionals in the field as well. I would also like to mention for anyone listening here and that are still with us, you can ask questions to our speakers, especially in this session. We can make it a bit interactive. If you're interested about their initiatives or you maybe have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section or raise a hand, and we will make sure to ask them either after the speaker is finished or at the end of the session. We'll see however it's best. Thank you again, Juanjo and Germán. Now we are going to continue with Jean Wolf and Marlene Restoder from the Service National de la Jeunesse Luxembourg, who will be talking on the topic of activity collection, promoting a safer and more positive use of the internet to primary school children. So Marlene or Jean, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Christina. So just let me... Okay, is everybody hearing me and seeing the presentation? Okay.
Yes.
So thank you that we can participate at your webinar for My Digital Me. So we are Marlene Restoder and Jean Wolf, and we work for Be Secure in Luxembourg. So it's almost the same like presented for Catalonia. We are a safer internet center, a governmental initiative for safer use of internet. And today we decided to present you a tool that we call Activity Collection, which is a tool to promote a safer and more positive use of the internet to primary school children. So first of all, we'll give you an idea of what Be Secure does. so that you get a little bit glimpse of what we do. Then we will present to you our activity collection as well as how it should be used. And at the end, you will see where we can reach us if you have any further questions. So I don't know if everybody here knows Be Secure, but we will present it to you a little bit. As you know, images say more than words, so that's why we just let you watch our branding video, which offers you a very clear idea of what we do in our team. I hope you will.
The internet
Are you hearing?
simplifies our lives in many ways. We can access information from all over the world and remain accessible at all times. Unfortunately, this convenience comes with risks and insecurities. Be Secure raises awareness about how we can all use the internet safely and responsibly. Be Secure regularly visits children and young people in schools, maisons relais, and youth houses. Carers are also informed, both at parents' evenings and during training sessions for teachers and educators. In addition to the trainings, Be Secure offers information and a series of publications available on the Be Secure website. The Be Secure helpline provides anonymous, confidential and free advice on topics such as cyberbullying and online scams. Advice on safer device settings can also be given. The phone number 8002 1234 is open to everyone, children, youngsters and adults. The Be Secure Stopline is a website for reporting illegal and criminal content. This includes child sexual abuse material, racism, discrimination and terrorism. This content can be reported anonymously on the website stopline.be-secure.lu. Once checked, the report is forwarded to the competent authorities. Further information as well as our Be Secure helpline and Be Secure Stopline can be accessed via the website www.be-secure.lu. Be Secure for a safer and positive use of the internet.
Voilà, so thank you for that. So just to introduce a little bit more ourselves. So Jeanne Wolf, she is responsible for the publication, such as this one, which we will present today, and also the trainings for the formal education. And me, I'm responsible for the trainings that we offer in the non-formal education. And together we form the pedagogical division for Be Secure. Sorry. So today we decided to present our activity collection as a best practice tool on cybersecurity for this webinar. So this publication was first published 2016 in German in a PDF form, which was called Pädagogischer Leitfaden, and it was just available in German, but also digital as a printed version. So now the new version of 2023 is the evolution of the old one published in 2016. And we decided to do it in German and in French. As you maybe know, in Luxembourg, in the schools, they are mainly speaking German and French. And because we witnessed a big success through many downloads on our website, as well as orders from different schools or institutions, we thought that it would be interesting to let you all get a glimpse of it. So to know what is the activity collection? The activity collection contains as a total of 21 activities where young children learn with playing about a positive and safer use of the internet. Further details will be presented a little later. Now, as you know, nowadays kids are entering the digital world much younger than, for example, 3 years ago. So it is important to accompany them to make them aware of the dangers on the internet. So these 21 activities are normally animated by teachers and educators, and the target group for this activity collection are primary school children, which in Luxembourg, they are in the age range of 6 to 12 years, normally. All the activities are based on the Media Compass 2022, What is the Media Compass? Media Compass forms the basis for successful media education at schools. So it shows how every teacher and every subject or module can contribute to the development, promotion, and deepening of media competences. The main goal is to raise awareness to a safer use of the internet of the children. That's why also our subtitle is promoting a safer and more positive use of the internet to primary school children. Now, to get a glimpse of the print edition, how it looks. So now you see at the middle, at the top, it is our activity collection. So it is kind of a binder. It is a binder with 21 activities. On the left, you have the resource with the activity descriptions and, among others, the instructions and objectives for the different activities. On the right, you will find the activity sheets, which can be printed as many times as you need or as the school needs for the children to work on. The different activities are numbered and colored according to their class level. Here in Luxembourg, you have cycle 2, 3, and 4. For example, cycle 2 is the first and second year of primary school in Luxembourg, and so on and so on. So it is divided according to all the levels of the classes. As mentioned before, there are 21 activities in total. Every activity was tested before printing, before organizing. It was tested 3 times, at least 3 times, in order to guarantee a certain efficiency. So we went before that, and like I said, we tested it 3 times. Some of the topics treated are the passwords, image rights, cyber mobbing, hate speech, protection of privacy, and so on and so on. So to get a little bit a clearer image, we decided to show you one of our activity. So this is called A Journey to the Internet. It is a board game. So at the left side, you have the instructions, and on the right side, you have the first paper of the activity. So as you can see on so this activity is a board game, so they have to do a dice. So at the left, you have all the teams which are here in cyber mobbing, passwords, etc. You have how long will it take to do this game? So it's up to 60 minutes. What are the methods? So it's a quiz, it's right or wrong answers, and it's learning by doing or learning by repeating. Then you have at the middle, at the right, I don't know if you see my mouse. You see my mouse?
Yes, we see it.
Okay. So here you have the worksheet that you have to use. So then you know, I have to use this worksheet for this game. Here are some useful links that you can, which give you some kind of tips, and all the material that you have to do this game. And here you have what is the main objective of this game and how it's played. So to get a little bit glimpse of this, you see here it's like a board game. So you have to throw a dice, and then you will get on the field. It will be a blue field, yellow field, or green field. So for example, the blue field are right or wrong answers. So the blue field with the hooks and the axes. And there are some questions like, for example, if a person insults me, I'm insulting back. Then the child has to say, the scholar has to say if it's true, if it's not true. If they say no, then you have to explain why not. So it is really to create a discussion between all the children. The green field, for example, with the question marks, there you will get a question that leads after the answer also to a discussion. For example, does your best friend know your password? Then if now a person says yes, it is not the goal to punish the children by answering yes if friends know the password, but they should discuss the outcomes what they learned about the outcomes and why they give it to the best friend, and so on and so on. The yellow field is a sort of information field. So You will get to know the rules to a safer internet use. For example, don't believe everything you see on the internet. And the goal of these fields are that at the end of the game, the children should write down the rules that they consider the most important to remember, and for example, hang somewhere in the classroom that they could discuss maybe sometimes in the future. So now this is a little glimpse of one activity. We have many, many more, so 20 more. And like we said, for all children, for all classes, there are some activities. This was it for the activity collection. We have also different platforms on which we post regularly news or important information on different themes. If you have any questions or want to order some publications on our website, you'll find the contact formula which allows you to get in touch with us also. So we have our internet site, besecure.lu. We are also active on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. If you are interested, you always can go and see what we do, what are the news, and what we will do in the future. So this was it. Thank you for the time and the listening. If you have some questions, don't hesitate to ask us.
Thank you as well, Merlin, very much. I honestly love the moment when you mentioned that we should not punish the kids, but rather open a discussion and ask them, why do you do this? For example, why do you give the password to the best friend? What motivated to? Maybe does one of your parents or both parents know about this? So I really love, the youth-friendly approach, and I'm always like doing a lot of campaigns for highlighting the importance of youth-friendly information. Like, please, only youth-friendly information can help us understand what the professionals, what the adults, want to transfer at the end of the day. So thanks a lot for that.
No problem. Like I said, our main objective is always with the children to create a kind of interactive game or play. Even in our trainings, we want to inform that you could do it better. We don't want to punish them, and we are not diabolizing the internet, but just want to inform how to use it safely.
So because I think that that way that you can open them up, for a discussion, because with punishments, I think that nowadays it does not work that much. But okay, thank you very much, Merlin. I see that Patricia has a question. So yes. Patricia, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your presentation. It was really interesting to see, even being in Luxembourg, to see again what you do. I was just wondering, so this is for primary school, so in which age range are we talking about? And do you also have an identical model maybe for older or elder youngsters, or for youth houses specifically?
So the age range is 6 to 12 years old, normally in Luxembourg. You start usually at 6 years at the first year of primary school, and normally end 12 years. For this stuff, we don't have an activity collection like this for older, but maybe in future we will think about to create one. But our trainings, we have trainings or information material that are meant for older students. So at our trainings we have also, like for example, now if you go to youth houses, we talk more about the sexting and the self-demonstration on the internet, because they are more older and are more aware of this. And so all our trainings and all our material, educational material or reports are meant for different classes of ages. But now for the activity collection like this, at the present now, we don't have it. We just worked on this one. It was published this year, on the beginning of the year, and for sure we will do something.
Could be an idea.
It'd be an idea, of course.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you both. Yes, I also agree that not only in Luxembourg, but maybe on a European level, you can maybe start initiatives for the good practice sharing, and then it can be adapted also to, let's say, primary, high school, but also to university students, because as you mentioned, for example, topics like sexting, you cannot give on primary school children, but then university students, you can talk a bit more free with them. And also, you know, depending on the age and knowledge, I think you can adapt the topics and have really an amazing project. So kudos to you and all of the collaborators on these initiatives. I think that it's really an amazing one.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you as well. So if we don't have any further questions, I think that I don't see anything in the comment section. I would like to thank you again. And we can continue with Imre Simon, who is the development manager at Erica, and who will be speaking on the topic of media project outcomes. Imre, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Christina, and welcome to everyone also from my part. Happy European Youth Information Day. Thank you for attending this webinar. I will indeed show you another example, a practice example, how we tackled, or better said, how the French-speaking Erica members tackled this question, and particularly media and information literacy. I will share with you a presentation as well. I hope that everything will work just fine. Yeah, so my name is Imre Simon, and I'm development manager at Erica, as Christina said already. And one of the activities that we did at Erica in the media and information literacy field was a project. And I will share with you some of its main outcomes and how it can help in the process of tackling this topic with young people. Probably you have seen this slide. We use it often when we try to refer to the information landscape, what is out there, and particularly the internet, but not at all only on the internet. So besides good quality and trustworthy information, there's a lot of other things, disinformation, conspiracy theories, propaganda, and so on. And media and information literacy skills are indeed needed, not only for young people to get through all this. So one initiative we had was actually the project of a French-speaking Erica members, but don't worry, results are and will be translated also and shared across our network. And in this project, we aimed at increasing the media and information literacy skills and resources for youth workers, youth information workers, and via their activity of young people as well. So we aimed at creating resources that youth professionals can use with young people to develop their media and information literacy skills and help them navigate in this information overload which is out there. I also, let me refer to in brackets that it's a relatively new situation. So the young people of today are the first generation who live in the era of information overload. So before, it was rather information scarcity. You had to search for information or go to certain places to get the information. Now it's coming. There are push messages and yeah, you know how it is. So you see the partners and the associated partners of this projects who are the French-speaking Erica members, as I said, particularly from Belgium and Luxembourg, and also we had associated partners in France, and the project was supported by the Erasmus Plus program. So what we actually did here, first step was a survey. Yeah, it had a very long title that you can read on the screen, but the bottom line is that we aimed at discovering what needs are there and what we actually have to address. So before we created these resources, which I refer to, we had a look on the scene. So like what needs are there, what issues are there, what is the current situation. We collected over 250 responses from youth professionals. As you see, it was mostly from French-speaking countries, but not only. We had the survey in 3 languages, and in the results, in this mix of 257 respondents, we had quite a diverse mix. So we had youth workers, youth information workers, educators, teachers, and so on. Yeah, we hope that it gave a complex picture from all these different areas. And I will not bore you more with the demographics. You can find and download the survey from our website if you're interested in more of these aspects. But let's have a look at the results. So what are the pedagogical practices that youth workers, info workers, and social workers, and all those that we have seen in the previous slide actually do? And we discovered that a lot of them, like 22% of them, never runs a media and information literacy related activity with young people. And you see that also once a year, once a trimester. So the proportion is only 23% who does something with this very, very current topic more than once a month. Yeah, so this rate was very low, as we have found. We also asked them about their interest in the topic, and you see the responses and their proportion. So what you see is not percentage, but number of the responses. And you see that the majority of the respondents said that they deal with information literacy, media and information literacy, because this is something current. You kind of have to do it. Then less respondents said that it's because they have a personal interest in topics. Even less said that it's because young people actually have an interest in this topic. And only 50, or not even 50, which means less than 20% of the respondents said that they do these activities because they understand the interest towards this topic, but they don't have the knowledge and time to integrate it in their activities. So what are these difficulties? Let's have a deeper look. We did in this survey, and you see that the largest majority of the respondents said that because they lack knowledge. There were also a lot of other responses, but the lack of knowledge, and then related to it, the lack of training was the main reason for this situation. So then we decided to go in this project for the creation of a training course to counter this lack of knowledge and lack of training. Yeah, we also asked the participants of the survey what activities they would like to have, they would like to do, or they would need in this area to tackle it well with young people, and also for learning themselves. And you see the majority said interactive activities and acting out different scenarios. So you can imagine that we went for non-formal educational methodology in this training and integrated activities like this. We also concluded a number of recommendations from the survey as a whole, because it included many more questions than what I now included in my slides for time constraints, of course. But you can read also the rest in the report, as I referred to earlier. So some conclusions we drew from this survey was the clear link between the phenomenon that media and information literacy is not tackled often enough with activities with young people, and the fact that the youth professionals said that they actually lack training in this area. We found the need for decentralized training for facilitating the spread of this message and dissemination. We identified different topics that where they need a training, so we went more into detail in the survey as well. And the respondents also had a lot of ideas, which we tried to incorporate in the consequent training course. So it was one of those surveys that actually the results were used for something, and the training was designed with these outcomes in mind. But what do young people say? So now we know what youth professionals think and what are the needs, but then nothing about you without you. So what do young people say? Well, we did plan focus groups in this project, but due to the pandemic, we were not in the situation to gather groups of young people together and actually run these focus groups. So we took somewhat earlier results from another survey and focus groups from a Horizon 2020 project that Erika was also a member of. Here I will not give you a lot of details about the project itself, also to focus on the results, but you can find them on our website as well. So it was a Horizon 2020 supported project with mostly European higher education institutions and Erika. And here we found that it is important to undo some stereotypes, like that's what came from young people's responses, that are projected on them about their information consumption habits. Yeah, they are more critical to information than we usually think. They do not believe everything on the internet at all. They do discuss information they find on the internet with their peers, particularly, and they try to cross-check information as well. So the information usage of young people does not really correspond to the stereotype that is widely believed about it. Then also what they are lacking is, of course, the situation is far from being ideal, is often due to the lack of technical skills. We say, and it is true, that young people of today are the digital natives, and they are kind of born into digital technology, and they are excellent users of these digital technologies, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they have underlying technical skills that would be needed for certain activities or information searching consumption habits. So what is underlying the functioning of digital tools, the algorithms, the coding and so on, or creating pieces of information graphics are probably skills that many of them are lacking. Then what else do young people did young people tell us? The information circuit is probably not a very catchy subject, so which comes from the gathering, the creation of a piece of information and all its way through different channels of media until the consumer, and then how that information is used in the end is not a very catchy subject, but this is a very important part. We found also that the biggest gaps are here, and not only in the case of young people, but also in the case of youth professionals. And the three main conclusions that we drew from those focus groups is that there's a very strong affection towards the information provider. Loyalty towards an information channel and an information outlet is very high among young people. The question of algorithm I already mentioned, and the economy of digital networks and the use of digital networks is also different from what we believe. Of course, there is a very, very high usage of social networks among young people, but it's not at all the case that they would believe everything that they find there. They are very much aware that social media is not a trustworthy source of information. It's good for a lot of things, but probably they use it less or at least they assess information after having gathered it from social media. Okay, so these were the results from youth professionals and from young people. And then what did we do in this project with all these results, we created then a training, as it was expressed in the survey. And now what I show you is the summary of the contents of the training manual, which has an introduction and gives context and gives definitions. And provides a glossary of terms as well. And I would like to now a little bit focus on the activities part, so what's happening at this media and information literacy training. So you see that the activities we have here cover the topics that were identified in the surveys and the focus groups. We cover different topics. It is actually a 3-day training. It might look short on one screen, but it is a 3-day training which was already piloted. And this is what I can show about it at the moment, because the manual is on the desk of the graphic designer and the translator as well. So we have the training in French already. It is coming in English and German. And the manual, the training will be adapted also very, very soon to an e-learning platform. So it will be available both as face-to-face training course and as an e-learning course. Yeah, so it was expressed that, for example, the training needs should be accessible and easy to organize on regional level or local level. So the e-learning course will hopefully provide just that. We are also going to pilot it as Erica, but our members are also can also organize this training course anymore. The project is just finishing, so keep an eye on the news, because this is coming up, and more information will be available, for example, in our newsletter. So please subscribe to our newsletter if you haven't done it yet. Have a look at our website. The publications that I mentioned are also downloadable, and we have a training section as well. So this new training course will be included there as well. I thank you for your attention. So I wanted to kind of summarize one specific activity that addressed the topic of media and information literacy. Erica is doing other things on this subject as well. For example, we partner with the UNESCO Global Media and Information Literacy Week for several years, and we have developed other activities since then. But this training course for youth workers, youth info workers is, I believe, a very good way of addressing this need, and also upskilling youth workers and info workers before they can actually tackle this topic with young people. And we do hope that this training course will contribute to mainstreaming this topic in youth information activities and youth work activities. And this chart with the survey results that show that this topic is very rarely discussed and tackled with young people will change. If you run a survey in a couple of years, then hopefully that would show a very different proportion, with more media and information related, literacy related activities among young people and also in youth information work. Thank you very much for your information. I don't know if we have time for questions, then I'm happy to respond.
Yes, thank you very much, Imre, for the inspiring presentation. We are all waiting for the training course to be done and available in English and all of the other languages that you mentioned among the Erica members as well. So then we can see the outcome of it, and surely it will be amazing. Also, I love the part because you did the research from the youth professional side, and then you heard also the opinion of young people, because I feel that always, there's like one side lacking, and it's amazing that you give the floor also to young people to express, because who can, say better than them what are the problems with which they're facing in this field. So thank you again. I don't see any questions. If somebody wants, they can ask the questions during the next session, during the next speaker while she's speaking, or you can ask them now. I think that for now we're all good. Okay, then we can continue with the last speaker for the day, Angelina Pereira, which is the members coordinator, service coordinator at ERICA, and she will be presenting the campaign for the European Youth Information Day 2023. Looking forward to hearing it. So Angelina, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Christina, for a nice introduction. And thank you everyone for joining and also for sharing so many things. And I was quite impressed by what Imre said, that when they were doing the research in the project, that actually there are not so many youth workers or youth information workers that are running the meal-related activities. And I hope after this webinar, we also encourage more of the youth workers and youth information workers to actually do more meal-related activities. And I would like to just quickly share with you the campaign that we are doing this year. That is, no surprise, called exactly the same way as this webinar, because the webinar is dedicated to this campaign, and it's called My Digital Me. I hope you can see my screen very well. And Christina, I guess, can tell me if it's not bad. So the campaign, every year, already for some years, ERICA is celebrating its birthday and Youth Information Day with a campaign. And our members are actively supporting the dissemination and translation and actively joining us on this journey. This year, it was dedicated and is still dedicated to media information literacy, and it's composed out of 4 elements. So many of you probably already know. Some of you are actively involved in the translation or dissemination of it. The first component that was called the ABC of MIL, it's kind of a glossary of concepts related to media information literacy, made up by young people for young people. So you can see on the side of the screen catfish and also some picture and an explanation. So these are the things that were created for social media to raise awareness on the most important or the most buzzwords around media information literacy. You can see some of these posts on our social media of ERICA, or also on the members' social media, or even on our Facebook. The second component was how to stay safe, and this is a series of tips on safely navigating and using different online sources, such as email, social media, shopping websites, and news platforms. Also targets young people, so how they can use safely these sources. So it's it doesn't only educate young people, but also, of course, youth workers, because you obviously read the information that you post, even if it's a campaign that is created by ERICA. So I guess it works both ways. So both for young people and also youth workers and youth information workers. So that's about some tips and practical advices. And the third component was called What Does Europe Do for You? So that was a compilation of European policies and recommendations that ensure a safer use of digital platforms and tackle disinformation. And it's a series of some videos that were created and directed and produced by ERICA Youth Ambassadors. And actually one of the videos also features Christina, our facilitator today. So there young people talk in their native language, and they explain about this recommendations and policies on the European level that exist for young people. So that was a third component. And the last component that I want to talk a bit more today is the toolkit of activities. So we heard today that the Be Secure has a nice toolkit that we can try to translate with our means and use some activities. We also created a small toolkit with about 14 resources and activities. This was done to enhance the dissemination of the campaign and raise awareness among young people. But of course, everything that's produced during campaign, it's meant to use during the campaign, but it can live longer and be used longer, because the toolkit can be used no matter if the campaign is still running or not. And also, if you wish to translate, we will be happy to to provide the necessary resources, and this toolkit can be translated. So let me just quickly show you the toolkit. Yeah. So the toolkit is divided into two parts, which is one is for offline activities and one later on for online activities or resources, where you can find some activities. And pretty much like any toolkit or activity resource, it has some information how to run the activity, what you need for preparation, the activity itself, target audience, group size, and so on and so forth. So yeah, our toolkit or activity booklet, as we call it, it has different target audience. So for example, this activity on cyber safety that is called cyber safety quiz is for any group size, and target audience is between 13 and to 18 years old. Then we have some activities that target younger people, so age 6 and up. Yeah, so it's quite diverse, so you can pick, mix and match the activities as you please. And yeah, so this is the toolkit. And if you scroll all the way to the closer to the end, you can see also that there is online activities, which is different information and different games that you can find online that are also quite interesting to use with young people. So yeah, while compiling this this activity booklet, of course, we took inspiration from our member organizations, and you can even see that in some of them there is mentioning to the organization that contributed and shared the experience to create this activity booklet. So yeah, if you would like to translate or to use or to have access to the materials, you can head to our website. I can just click quickly, or not quickly, because I'm also the technical person of this webinar. So if I can, yeah. So in the email that you will receive at the end, you will see the some links to our website and also the activity booklet. Yeah, and if you have any questions, you can either contact us on the general email of Erika Secretariat or my colleague Bea, who will probably be the one sending you the follow-up email and who was behind the creation of this webinar. So if you have any questions, I will be happy to answer them. And I invite, I guess, Marco, who is second facilitator, to run the last bit of this webinar.
Yes, thank you very much, Angelina. I would open again the floor for questions. You can post your question in chat, or you can open your mic and ask the question if there is some. Okay, it seems everything was clear.
I can just share, I managed to exit my sharing screen, so I can just share where to find information. So if you head to our website, so it's a new website, and you can see here, it's loading, EYID, which stands for European Youth Information Day, where you can learn a bit more about the initiative, and also that it's our birthday of Erika, and the materials created this year, and also have the contact email of Bea, whom you can contact for these materials. So I just wanted to show you where to find more information. So it's here in the corner.
Perfect. Thank you again, Angelina. I guess there is no more questions. I would like to thank you for everyone, the participants who joined us today, also the speakers that take part and share their work, their story, and what they are doing. And I would like to close this meeting now. We are a little bit early than expected, but it's nice. We can use 10 more minutes for in our day. So I would like thanks again to everyone, and I would say that we can close this meeting.
Thank you, everyone. See you.
Bye-bye.
Bye, thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for joining.
Bye. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye.